Hello and welcome to the Armor of the Goddess. This is our snow moon workshop for the coming moon before Ostara. If you all got your PDF, she looks a little like this. It's very, very pretty. If you have the ink to print her, I would print her because she is fire. I do like me a hot goddess for my PDFs, as you all know, and I'm a sucker for the watercolors. So you always get a watercolor when I can find one. So in the beginning of this PDF, we really go into what the Virgo moon is. Now, if you know a Virgo, you love a Virgo, you also know that Virgos are very complicated creatures. Okay? Just like this moon. This moon is going to either eat you up and shit you out, or you're going to hide from it. Okay, you're going to take two choices here. You're either going to dive in the deep end with your floaties and go as fast as you can and really work into this and arm yourself up and work, or you're going to cocoon. Okay, these are your two choices because this belly that you're sitting in right now of the great goddess is super important. It is finally starting to feel like Imbolc to me. It is starting to feel like disting. It is starting to feel like we're in the middle. So, if you know anything, I was supposed to cook an Imbolc PDF meal a couple weeks back, and that didn't happen because life happened. Keep your eye out this weekend. You probably will get your meal. I'm starting to feel into that energy, and this Virgo moon is a reason why. Um, so this moon is going to ask you to really take a look at some things, okay? And when you move in to the third page of the PDF, you see these prompts, okay? We're going to cover this stuff quickly in the beginning because we have a lot to cover in the armor of the goddess, okay? So, what are you seeking from your magic at this time? What we really need to understand here is magic is the understanding we have between the universe of how we communicate, how we handle ourselves on a spiritual level, how we connect to the stars, which we're all made of stars. And we know this, right? If you're a witch, you accept you're part of it all. You're not just a smidgen of it, you're part of it all. But at the heart of it, your magic is yours, not someone else's. And you only are leasing it from the greater good. Okay? So this brings the do no harm, take no shit label. Okay? The LHC is not a community where we believe in no hexing, no body, nothing like that. I don't have those expectations. This is a gray community. So if you're here, you know we believe in gray magic. Because I'm a firm believer if you can't hex, you can't heal. I mean, I come from a line of hex hollow healers. So it is in what we are. We live in the hex heal stipulation. In order to have healing, you have to have been sick, correct? That's how it works. So when you look at this, you're really looking at the aspect of what is your relationship right now? You and the universe are at a point in your relationship, you're at that intersection, where you're like, are you good for me? Am I good for you? Is this what we want to be doing anymore? Do we want to be seeing each other at this level, or do we need to change things up a little bit? I mean, do we need to introduce a third party in our relationship? Is it time that we have a threesome, you, me, and a deity? Is it time that it's just you and me, sacred energy? Is it time that I step out and take some time for myself? Now, if you're at a relationship point with the universe that you're overwhelmed by your magic, you're overwhelmed by the idea of the magic, the moon has hijacked you, you are not ready for this. This is your cocoon part. Stay in the belly. Stay in there a little bit while, nourish yourself a little more, do a little bit work on yourself, really investigate into that. And this workshop really isn't for you right now. Yes, the Virgo moon is for you, but what we're about to step into probably isn't for you right now. But it will be for you eventually because you can't live in mom's belly forever. You have to come out. And in order to come out, there's some really uncomfortable labor pains that need to occur. Correct? So, who's going to have these labor pains? Well, you and her both. Because I guarantee you she's sick of watching your shit and you're sick of being confined in her limitations for you and you're ready to be bigger and better. Correct? So, when you're walking into this Virgo moon, I gave you 4 points to think about. What am I seeking from my magic at this full moon moment? Not longer. I want you to look at just this moment. Just this section, just this beautiful glimpse in time when you, as any witch, looks up at the sky and she's so full, she's so beautiful, and you're in awe of her. What do you want from your magic right now? That's a question to ponder into as we're approaching the full moon. I'm going to admit to you guys, I'm very fucking proud of myself. We're way ahead of the gate here. I'm giving you some days to think about this shit. This doesn't happen very often. This was some good planning, and I don't know what the fuck happened. Once in a time, blind squirrel finds a nut. This is my nut. Get ready, okay? What can I feel the universe is sending my way at this moment? Now, answer one and answer two should work together because what you're seeking should be seeking you. You know that old adage, you look for love when you least find it? You find it. That's when the two of you meet, when you're not searching. That's not the case with magic. You got to be looking for it, and it will look for you. It's kind of like a homing device. How many of you lose your keys all the time? It's like an adequate thing, right? So there's these things called a beeper schlager that you can put on your keys, and it helps you find your keys. Magic is a lot like a beeper schlager. When you are sending out the beacon of intention, source hears you. And it's like, I'm over here. I'm over here. I'm over here. And you're like, no, you're not, because that looks like work. I got news for you. The biggest magic is going to have a hill to climb to get to it. It's just the way it works. Harry doesn't get the sword of Gryffindor to do nothing with it. Nothing in fairy tales, nothing in magic, nothing in life comes without a little bit of work. And you're finding these recent workshops here at the LAC are requiring some fucking work on your part. A little less on mine, more on yours. I like this for us, okay? So, how can I embrace each of the elements at the current moment to enhance my life and workings? I had to slip in a feral thing there. Sorry. I just had to I had to slide that shit in right there. You know me. I just had to slide it in. So how is water working with your element? Some of us still have snow in the ground. How are we using that snow in our moon ceremonies to work? How are we using fire? We all know how we use fire. We're fucking pyromaniacs. We're always using fucking fire, okay? Fire, fire. It's a full moon. We gotta have a fire. That's how it works. How are you using the air? When I breathe in, when I do ritual, which you will see on Sunday, I breathe out with the wind and take my intentions with the wind when I'm releasing. When I'm building, I will breathe against the wind and pull it in. I will pull the magic into myself. And finally, earth. What are you doing? I mean, it's not recommended right now to be barefoot when it's 32 degrees outside, but sometimes you got to shuck the shoes, get in the fucking ash, and make it happen. I like to throw a little bit of my hot ash on the ground, let it cool off a little bit, and put my feet in it. It's like a heater, you know? It's got to have a little heater on the ground, and the ash and I make peace with each other. It's good for your body too. Don't worry about it. Just don't burn your feet, okay? I don't want to hear about, it says you had to go to the hospital because I burned my feet on my fire ash. That is not what I fucking told you to do. It is now documented. That is not what I told you to do. Let it cool down a little bit, put it on the ground, and use it. These elements are essential, and the most important is your spirit. How are you bringing your spirit to this situation? How is your higher self? How is your, we're going to get here, how is your sacredness greeting this moon? You understand what I'm saying? You are a complete person. That means all your good, all your bad, all your ugly, all your happiness, all your sorrow. You are a complete person. It all flows together, and every bit of it makes you who you are. And that is the most important thing to remember when you're coming to a moon ceremony. So, a lot of people just come to the moon ceremony. You see it on Facebook, you go to the moon ceremony. You see it locally, you go to the moon ceremony. But do you stop to prepare your temple for the voyage? Because each one of these are a fucking voyage. You are voyaging with this Virgo archetype into your higher self to really move into a place where you're feeling it all and you're experiencing it all and you're holding it all there to hold that sacred tension and process. Okay? I love the concept of sacred tension. And so many people are uncomfortable in sacred tensions. When people speak their truth, somebody had a really aggressive live the other day where she spoke her truth. There are some people who are very uncomfortable with that. That was a sacred tension that is not comfortable. Yet, it is a necessity in growth to have sacred conversations, sacred truths where you speak for your inner dialogue. Okay? So when you're doing this, really think about that. How is your spirit meeting this moon? Not just the elements, but your spirit as well. You are part of everything. You need to own that situation. Do I feel any deities attempting to engage me currently? If so, who? How are they appearing to me? Okay, so I'm going to say something, and we all can have a fight me moment when I'm done with it. Okay? If a deity is appearing to you, there are signs, there are indications. You are noticing them. It's just not, "Yeah, I feel this in my butt cheek and it must be Hecate." Not how this works. Come on. We're not all new here. I mean, if some of you are new here, hi, nice to meet you. But most of us are not new here. And we know when a deity wants something, it will connect multiple times to show you. Okay? So when you're answering that question, you saw that wasn't one of my normal single answer things. Is a deity trying to get you? And you can write yes and walk on. No, if so, how? I want you to really think about how. Okay? So that first page of prompts is just to get you through the moon. You're all like, fuck you, sissy. Yeah, it's going to get better. Okay? So that's just to greet this moon. All right? Then we come into this mind of Osiris coming. And a lot of you are celebrating Ostara, okay? This is the equinox. This is really important. For me, that's spring, okay? That's symboling to me that spring has come. Imbolc is real close to it for me this time because it's not that season. This is a different blot for me, a different way of viewing it. I'm observing seasons now. So for me, I have to feel into that idea of a Sabbath. Is it always going to align? No. But when spring hits you, and I'm not saying equinox will be the time for that, but when spring hits you, you will feel the need to emerge. You will feel the need to shuck your shell, move a little forward. I love the image of the snake coming out of the shell. Spring. I love that. For those of you who know, I have a huge cosmic egg on my leg. It is a huge thing for me. I believe this signification of the snake coming out, devouring its shell for nurturing, is such a great representation of what this really is. When you birth yourself, you eat the last rendition of yourself, not to destroy it, but to grow from it. It is a growth statement for the snake. It was its protection. The who you are prior to this season protected your fragile spirit till the next step. So you were strong enough to emerge and become what you needed to be. People mistake winter as a frail stance. It's not. It's a growth stance. It's a nourishment stance. It's a, this is who I want to be, and this is what no longer serves me. And consider your shell what no longer serves you. We don't eat shells in the witch world. Like if you get eggs from somebody and there's shells in it, you're really not pleased with it, right? That's normal frequency, right? But we use those for protection in the witch world. Why? Because they protected us once. They were what we used to protect us. Those shells are really important. So when you're doing your moon magic at the spring equinox or Ostara or whatever you're deciding to celebrate it as, make sure you have egg shells in that magic. It's extremely important. If there's ever a time for you to use that, that's the time to use that. Okay. And right now, you can use a whole egg in your magic. It's a beautiful stance. For Virgo, when I do this moon prior to spring, I use a whole egg and I put it into my fire and I let it cook in the fire. Sometimes I eat it depending on how bad it looks because I write my intentions all over it of my new intentions from the healing. Your shell will probably burn off if your fire's hot enough. So when we're doing this, let's look at where we're going through and how we're going to carry our magic into spring. These next set of questions apply to that. What are we seeking to gain from deeper connection? What do you want? Not just I want to be deeper connected. What do you want from the connection? What do you want it to look like? Any good business has a plan. Any good practice has an intention. And it is well written and it is well thought out and it is spoken many times through your workings. Intentions are not meant to be said once and forgotten. They are meant to be drilled in and become mantras. You will see them later in this workshop. Okay? In what ways are we moving to create and become sacred? What are you shredding? What are you sanding off the rough edges on? What are you creating new boundaries on? What are you fostering for growth in your magic to get you ready for the next level? What are you doing? This isn't what others can do for you. This is what you have taken control and what you're doing, correct? And finally, what deep spiritual actions can we do to support this huge shift in perception of ourselves? You're about to shift a little bit in this workshop. Those of you that took Medusa with me, you guys are just off the earthquake of shift over there. You're like, fuck you, sissy. I don't want to shift no more. Well, we're going to shift a little more, okay? Because any good growth requires a little bit of vibration and movement. So when you're doing mantras, intentions that's spoken over and over again in ritual become mantras, okay? When you're doing this, you're creating a vibrational response in your magic that aligns with the growth you're seeking. Negative things have a very low vibration. Positive things have a very high vibration. If you're into Hertz healing at all, you know how that works. I am not an expert in Hertz healing. Do not claim to be so, but it works in many different levels. I know if my little neurotypical self hears a certain way of hearing something, it works a lot better for me than I hear it on a regular level. So, what are you bringing in as a practice to move this? So, is it sound healing? Is it chanting? Is it creating a spell container where you move back and forth and create your own vibration? Is it daily ritual cleansing? Is it daily altar work? What are you doing that is a big spiritual practice for you to move in a bigger direction for yourself in spring? Correct? Okay. This brings us to the next part of this workshop. This is where it's going to be a little different than I've taught you guys before. So, you've all been to Sunday school, right? Good majority of you have been to Sunday school. In Sunday schools, they talk about this beautiful thing called the armor of God. Palestine, Israel fight then too. Um, just for reference. I was writing this workshop for this moon and I heard the armor of the goddess in the back of my head. And it's so funny because this was one of my favorite things to teach in Sunday school when I was a United Brethren mommy. Okay. And in this, you have the feet that spread the message, you have the sword of the spirit, you have the girded truth loins, you have the shield of faith, you have the breastplate of righteousness, and you have the helmet of salvation. Okay? Great, great concepts in the Bible. These are great concepts. Okay. I'm going to give kudos to whoever wrote the Bible. That's great. Whoever decided this is how we were going to do this. Okay. Great history lesson. What if we move this? We're talking about shifting, right? What if we shift this? Take it from patriarchy and claim it back to matriarchy. Move it back into a womb space. Okay. Great concepts exist in every religious pantheon. Do you understand? And they're usually very similar. Uh, so let's see what brings us together, right? What if we're grounded? Our feet stand in one place and they hold us to that sacredness. What if we're armed with proper information? We do our work. We look at things we're researching. We learn our history. We move into basics, and those basics bring us to better education, right? That's our goal as witches. We have a sacred womb space. There's those lines, that sacred room space. Okay. We hold a heart of authentic truth and we have a higher awareness of our point. That is the armor of the goddess. So when you're looking at that, you're looking at all those different aspects. And I'm sure you all read this page and you were like, what? In this brief workshop, we will focus in on a few of the topics I will cover in the coming fucking feral sequel, Sacred Valor. When you move into these things, you are providing yourself a plan to take care of yourself. How many times do you say to me, where do I start? I've heard this question from newbies my whole teaching organization in witchcraft. What is the most important? Where do we start? You start at the basics. You start by learning to ground yourself and understand your energy, right? So we're starting at the ground. Then we go to the next aspect, which is so important, of arming ourselves with information. So we learn about our elements. We learn about basics of spell crafting. We learn about herbs. We learn about the tools of our trade. So when a soldier is arming himself or herself, she learns how to within her wheelhouse, correct? Next, we come to how sacred we are. We are life givers. We are feminine energies. We are able to reproduce. We are able to rebirth ourselves. That womb space is not only about bringing other people forward, it is about bringing ourselves forward. You lived in a womb before you had a womb, and you lived in another woman's womb before that womb. We were carried by our grandmothers before we were carried by our mothers. That, my friends, is ancestral lineage. You are from a long line of women who were sick of the patriarchy before you even got here. Do you understand? Your magic is ancient and sacred, and you need to go about it at the next step, opening your heart to truth. Whatever that truth may be, whatever that truth was, whatever that truth could be, shall be, has the potential to be, you need to look at that truth in the past, present, and future status for yourself. And how do you weave those all together to bring you to your higher sacredness? That is the truth of valor. That is the armor of the goddess. So when you're creating these aspects, you really got to look into, how am I doing this? What actions are going to support this? You're moving into this Virgo moon. You're going to write an overall intention from that first page, right? All of you are going to have an overall intention moving forward. And you're going to really look at that Ostara piece, that spring piece, that equinox piece, whatever applies to you. This is your shift, how you perceive the seasons. This is your choice. This isn't my choice. This is your choice, how you view this. This is where magic is being handed back to you guys. This is no longer my decision how this works. This is your decision how this works. I'm presenting the information. You are making the choices. That's how good magic works. Okay? So you have the choices, you have those intentions. Here are the armor actions you're going to work within. Grounding your physical temple in truth and authenticity. That's the bottom layer. We're going to ground. You're going to write a grounding statement about yourself. What grounds you? What holds you? What brings you here? Who are you? What do you want to be? All those things. I am statements, not I will. I am. We're not lighting birthday wishes. You're fucking making declarations. Do you understand me? You ain't wishing upon a star. I ain't no fucking star. I can assure you that. Okay? We're not doing that. You're not blowing out a candle or making declarations. I am. I know. I have. These are true statements about yourself. Creating a working conduit of magic within your mind and spirit that is taking that known information, bustling it up a little bit, and figuring out how you're going to use it to work your intentions. What are you going to do? How are you going to work this? Are you going to do divination? Are you going to sit at your meditation spot and really see in, ask your spirit guides for help? Are you going to call in your spirit team? These are important things to know. What are you working with? Some of you I know right now are getting sober and clean. I know quite a few women that are getting sober and clean right now. So they are pulling from their spiritual strength, there's powerhouses to power them through this. I'm super proud of you guys. This is not easy. Done this. It is not easy. And there are moments of backsliding. You can't be hard on yourselves. But how can you bustle up that energy to keep pushing forward when you feel like you're falling back? That's when your grounding comes in, when the legs are weak. Have you ever hiked a trail and when you get halfway up the trail, you're like, I can't fucking do this no more? If your feet are planted firm, you can hold your place, you can hold your progress. Same thing goes in magic. Hold your progress. Creating spell work and ritual that support the intentions of your higher sacred self. Get those coochies involved. Get that feminine energy bubbling inside of you. That means some self care. That means some chakra dance. That means moving your ass. Get your energy moving. You want that big old midsection you have swaying back and forth. You want them apple bottom jeans. You want that ass moving. Okay. That's what you just all sang that in your fucking head, didn't you? Um, because you were all ready to go boots with the fur. So get your song on. Get yourself moving in that space. Take time to move yourself because it really makes a difference. I have a whole playlist up on the Cauldron. May not be your choice, but they're movement impressive songs. There'll be a new one going up tomorrow that I've been working on. So these are songs that get you moving, get your body moving, just to rev you up for this, okay? Then you want to open your heart. This is the hard part, okay? We're not going to only accept ourselves, but we're going to also be willing to accept pure love. Ooh. Oh, how fucking hard is that? It is hard to love yourself, but it is so hard to believe you're worthy of love. Those two things are so hard. We're going to create that tie of connection where you are worthy of love and you are seeking love and you are holding love and you're creating space for it. I mean, I don't think you guys can all see, I got my love shirt on tonight. This is important. One of my biggest wounds is worth. I'm sure you all know by how many free workshops you get. Um, that's a big wound for me. Okay. So accepting love is just as hard as giving love to myself. Once you open your heart, there's room for both of those things. Do we understand each other? So this might be a whole fucking workshop for you in just learning how to accept love. When someone says to you, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you for all the work you're doing. I love you so much. You are killing it, girl." And you're like, "Yeah, thank you. Thank you for seeing me and understanding how hard I'm working on this because it's really fucking hard." And you will find once you're able to accept love, you're also able to recognize unloving energies. It's a dual sword. It will be easier for you to say, okay, it's not the kind of love I want. Thank you, but no thank you. And prepare your spirit self to receive and release new versions of your soul journey. So we all have this up here in our eye, and I'm sure you all have done like the open close thing. You're really gonna have to work on opening that part of you. You know, I love the analogy of yeah, the Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skulls where she goes in the room and she says, I want to see it all at the end. If you've seen the movie, you know, she's like, I want to see it all. You want to see it all. It's not going to burn you out like that. But you want to see it all. You want to see what you've been. You want to see where you can go. You want to accept what you've been and let it go with love and allow the new to flow in. The armor of the goddess allows you to be a fully standing, erect temple like the Great Pyramid. Nice and heavy on the bottom. She's got some heavy bottom weight. When the wind comes, she doesn't fall over. She'll stand the test of time. She's really made to stand for herself. If you want to move forward in this walk, you got to stand for yourself. The circle is great, but when it's all said and done and Source asks you what you accomplished, they're not going to want to hear, well, my sisters think I'm really cool. What did you do with your allotment of magic? I mean, I would love for the universe to have like a number on our forehead that says, Sissy got 17 units. Did she use them properly? Like, I want to know how many units I have. Like, the character in a video game where you see your thing going down every time. Because none of us understand that number is not limited. That number is only limited by the amount we go and use properly. Because with great magic, great responsibility follows. And you have to be willing to stand in your sacredness to hold that magic. Okay. And a lot of you are sitting here going, oh, I fucking hate her when she's like this. Love you. This is where we're at. So, 5 mantras to embrace. I want you to write your own mantras, but I decided to give you a couple to move into this. I am the tapestry of my soul voyage. I love the fucking word tapestry. I love it. It's woven. And it fucking makes my little heart go, it's woven. You are the weaving of your soul voyage. You are the most beautiful piece of artwork that your ancestors could ever create. And you're standing here. You're going, oh no, it's just my magic. I'm so confused. And they're like, oh, girl, what the hell? I know my ancestors probably sit around a table and go, this bitch, this bitch, what is she doing? Think about it. You are a tapestry. Don't you want it to be the most beautiful tapestry you can find? That's what you're looking for. Being magical is my birthright. You are magic because you fucking say you are. It is your birthright. It's not just a slogan, it's what I fucking believe. Okay? In my adversity, my truth strength is revealed. Oh, fuck. I hate this one. I fucking hate this one. I've been chanting this for a year. If I just can get to the end of this, if I just can get to the end of this, if I just can get to the end of this, guess what? The journey's made in the voyage. The strength is made on the road. You're never done walking the magical road. There are beautiful destinations along it, and you will find them all. But you are constantly on this road to learn more and more about your soul contract and your authentic self. And you will be surprised what Cheshire cats and Mad Hatters on this road you will find. Some will be your life saving blood. Some will be like, what the fuck was that? But you will learn and you will grow and you will move forward. That's how this works. It is a journey, to say the least. My temple is a home for abundance, and I will use it as a channel for my growth. This is where you channel from. People all over the witch world right now are fighting about the term channeling. Channeling is opening yourself as an entire vessel to understand what source wants, needs, and is asking from you at the moment. That is channeling. Sometimes it is voluntary. Sometimes it is involuntary. Sometimes it is aggressive. Anyone has the potential at any time to channel if they are an aligned spiritual being. I don't want to hear no one, only elite groups of people can channel. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. As the little boy says on TikTok, that's bullshit. That's just bullshit. It's bullshit. If you are working in your magic and you are reaching out to source, now channeling is not always eyes rolling back Whoopi Goldberg shit, okay? Sometimes channeling is your cards are speaking exactly to you and you need to see it. The two sticks you throw are not laying on top of each other, they're separate when you ask a question. That's channeling. Channeling is any way you conduct yourself to contact spirit energy, ancestor, source, spirit guide, dead people, period. Okay. And I know this is really gonna piss people off what I'm about to say. It's going with this one, so just take it as I say it. I am connected to all. If you believe there is a higher being that is here for our good, then you obviously have to believe there is a lower being who is not here for our good. Sorry, it's reality. A lot of people channel and they tell you this is what they're seeing. Not everybody who channels really knows what they're channeling. I myself have had an experience with a negative entity channeling, and it was not pretty. It was terrifying and it wasn't pretty. You are susceptible to anything when you open yourself to channel. Therefore, protection magic is important. That grounding, that being prepared, knowing what you're asking, the armor of the goddess, correct? So, this is the time we're meeting before the snow moon ritual on Sunday night. Why Sunday night? Because I've decided to open up on Saturday night for oracle pools. Not something I've done in a very long time, but I got a couple decks that are really fucking loud right now. I owe quite a few people some readings, so you'll be getting contacted over the weekend to work as well. Um, I really think this Virgo moon, me being a Virgo, my intuitiveness is really open right now. So we're gonna roll with that. Somebody said to me, "Are you going to charge for these?" No, there's going to be a donation, and I'm going to do charity, so don't worry about it. You get a pool, you like what you hear, make a donation. It's no big deal. Um, I had this kid with MG. We'll make donations to MG. What do I care? Okay. It would be nice to get some kids some surgery pillows because it's apparently a loss right now. But we're meeting on Sunday night again. So by the time we meet on Sunday night, you need to know your intentions. You need to be well aware of your armor because we are going to go into some aspects of the ritual. I am going to help you with some writing of your ritual. We are not doing ritual together. We are doing aspects of the ritual together. I will answer any questions. I will help you with anything you need. Your rituals need to be independent, period. But we will go into full aspects of ritual. Now, what I am going to suggest is because you're doing the armor of the goddess, many of you have goddess alignments and you work with them. Okay. I would write an invocation to your goddess for your altar before ritual that you're inviting in. Athena is great for this. Hecate is great for this. Hera is great for this. Persephone is great for this. I'm going to be calling her in the next workshop, but give her a ring. She's down below. Her and Hades are chilling right now, enjoying their last month together because, she's soon going to leave. Any deity that you have worked with that has worked for your better good and made you stronger is an armor of the goddess deity. Now, I am going to say something. The Morrigan is beautiful and wonderful, but she is a fucking terrifying beast. So unless you're going to war in spring, I would consider not bringing her into the armor of the goddess. Now, some of you that work with her, she isn't going to shut the fuck up unless you bring her, so that's your choice. But Lilith, I would I would not bring Lilith into this unless you really have some shit to settle with someone. Lilith isn't an armor of the goddess deity, okay? There are times that certain ladies are Hey, what's up? And there are certain times that they're not, hey, what's up? They're like, I want blood. This is not an I want blood time. This is us working for our higher good, learning how to align us, strengthening ourselves for magical workings. I am actually giving you a fucking good for you vitamin plus fucking workshop. This isn't going to tear out your fucking soul. This isn't going to make you rethink everything in your life. This is going to strengthen shit. I don't do this very often. Like, yay for good stuff, right? Because we're always tearing our souls out, right? So, does anybody have any questions about what we covered tonight? You're all sitting here going, holy shit, sissy. What the hell? Told you this was going to be a big one. Any questions? Okay, the recording is going to go up on YouTube for you guys to access. It will also be sent out as a replay. I'll send the link out to you so you can find it easier. If anyone is watching this on a replay and wants the PDF, it is in the store. If you didn't register, it's $2. I'm sorry. That's how it works. So we have Thursday night. Yeah, tonight's a working night, bitches. Don't be lazy. Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, we're doing cards. That link is up. You can go in there and pull to come in and get your link. Your Zoom link will be sent out prior to that meet. And Sunday night, we will meet for full moon Zoom. What do you need for full moon Zoom? You need all the things you've written. You need a white candle. You need a proper burning device. Now I know I can't burn, I can't burn. If you have a heat proof bowl that you can put a release in to burn, do that. If you can't, then you're going to flush it. Got it? We need to get rid of whatever we write on that release. Make sense? Toilet paper is the natural release mechanism. Like everybody's like, can't burn. Well, you can flush a toilet, can't you? So flush your toilet and get rid of it. This is going to be something you're removing right away. This is a full moon. So you're going to need to release things to make room in your heart space, your information space, your higher self space. These are old versions of yourself and things you're going to let go. So that's all you're going to need for Sunday night. That Zoom link will go out prior to us all meeting. I will probably put it on the event on Facebook as well, so you guys will be able to access it. I appreciate everybody coming tonight, pre-registering and being respectful while we're going through everything. Thank you so much. You're magic as you fucking say you are. Go get armored up, ladies.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.